What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nasher. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now 183 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because practically 100% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. What was your all-time favorite event from Master Duel? Let me know down in the comments below. And speaking of Master Duel, today's video we actually have a Master Duel deck profile in the form of Galaxy Eyes. Now interestingly enough, Galaxy Eyes can actually do relatively well using the new cards that we saw in what you call it? Excuse me, that we saw in the booster set Maze of the Master, which I had recently opened up a box of. So if you guys have not checked out that video, I definitely recommend you guys check it out. But the amount of plays that you can make with the deck is just absolutely incredible. And it's weird. It's weird because I know that that everybody's version of the deck is so different from everything from one another. I think mine might just end up being a little bit different. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm just gonna get straight into it. So first up, we got 2 copies of Max C. Obviously, is the heavy duty staple. Is the heavy duty staple. You gotta have at least 2 copies of Max C. Obviously, Max C is is now semi-limited to 2 copies because of the fact that it's still broken to this day. We got 2 copies of Ash Blossom. I know that I might not be able to get a good showing of these cards, so I do humbly apologize, but Ash Blossom can pretty much just stop everything at literally everything and anything. Same thing with Ghost Spell. Two copies of Ghost Spell. You cannot go wrong with 2 copies of Ghost Spell. Then of course we have a single copy for the rest of the deck. We have a single copy of Galaxy Wizard. This card is actually really good because of a few things. For one, its effect. It has 2 different effects. First up, if you wanted to go into an automatic rank 8 summon, you can increase this card's level by 4 to make it level 8 to go into your rank 8 plays. And also too, this basically acts as your Stratos for the whole deck. So you can literally tribute this card to specials to search out for pretty much anything. You can even use it to search out cards like cards like potentially Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, Tachyon Primal. You can search out Galaxy Expedition, Galaxy Trance, Galaxy Zero, pretty much anything and anything with Galaxy in its name it's basically your Stratos for the whole deck, which is incredible. Then, of course, we got 2 copies of Photon Vanisher. This is basically your Cyber Dragon for the deck. Basically, what this does is, if you have a Photon or Galaxy monster on board, then you get to special summon this card right off the bat, and you're able to add a copy of Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon to your hand, not only to thin the deck out a little bit, but also to basically ensure that you don't hard draw any of your bricks that you may that you may potentially have in the deck. Like with this deck, the biggest brick would probably have to be Source Child in Infinity Dragon, just because of the fact that you need to have no monsters on board to use its effect and bring it out, basically. So I feel like that's the only break. But even if you did open with Infinity Dragon, it actually is not that bad of a card. So you could literally go Infinity Dragon, summon out any other Galaxy monster to your board. You can then bring out Photon. You can bring out Photon Vanisher to literally add Galaxy Eyes to your hand, and then if you have Galaxy Wizard in hand, you can normal summon. You can normal summon Galaxy Wizard, and then just overlay them into a rank 4, like say Starly's Photon Blast Dragon, which gives you a special summon right off the bat. So you've got some really good plays just off of those cards alone. And also another thing with Vanisher is its last effect that reads and exceeds monster that was summoned using this card on the field as material gains this effect. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. So if you were to, let's say, overlay into a photon blast dragon, and you attack into a defense position monster that has less than 1800 attack, that literally has less than 1800 defense. Vanisher, whatever exceeds monster you summon using Vanisher as the material, basically becomes Darklaw. It literally becomes Darklaw on steroids. So it's Vanisher, Rhoda, Darklaw all rolled in one card, which is amazing. Then, of course, we've got 2 copies of Photon Orbital. Now, Orbital is actually not too bad of a card. It is a bit, I would say it's another brick in the deck, mostly because of the fact that you have to treat it as an equip card in order to gain the searching effect. If you're unable to search because your opponent activated a card like say Droll and Lockbird, then this card pretty much becomes ultimately useless, and it essentially becomes a brick. So what this card does is it allows you to target any Photon or Galaxy monster that you have on board. Equip this card to that monster as an equip spell that would give the monster 500 attack, and it cannot be destroyed in battle. That's its first effect. The second effect reads that you can send this equip card to the grave and add a Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. So hypothetically speaking, you can add Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal to your hand, and you would basically just and you'd be able to just pop off into any rank A plays that you may have at your disposal, which is incredibly crazy. Next up, we've got 2 copies of Galaxy Cleric. Cleric is actually not too bad. It is actually not too bad at all because of the fact that it literally is Pot of Avarice. This card is literally Pot of Avarice, but just better. It's better Pot of Avarice, because of the fact that you can attach this card to your Exceeds monster as material, and again, it becomes Pot of Avarice on summon. So on summon, you can target any 5 Photon or Galaxy cards with different names in your grave, shuffle them back into the deck, and draw 2. This card is super busted, super broken, and it can basically help you get out pretty much any cards that you may need for your and any cards that you may need to go into your rank 8 plays, your potential rank 4 plays, or perhaps even your link plays if you have any link monsters in your extra deck. Next up, we got 2 copies of Galaxy Summoner. This card, super broken. Absolutely busted card. Just all around good card. So the effect reads that on summon, you can target any Photon or Galaxy monster in your grave except this card, and special summon it in defense. So essentially, it becomes Monster Reborn, and the other effect reads that you can target one of the light monster you control. It becomes level 4 until the end of the turn. This basically ensures that you're able to go into any rank 4 plays that they may have at your disposal. For me, I actually have 2 rank 4s in my extra deck, both of which are just incredibly busted. And I will say, I think Summoner is a bit, in my opinion, Summoner is actually a bit underrated, just because of the fact that, again, it's Monster Reborn, and if you already have one level 8 monster on board, and you have Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in your grave, guess what? You can actually bring out Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon off of the effects of Summoner and go into a rank 8, which is insane. Speaking of rank 8, next up we have Tachyon Cloud Dragon. Now unlike Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon, which, let's see. Cloud Dragon. Now there's a massive difference between Tachyon Cloud Dragon and Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon. Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon's effect reads as follows. You contribute this card, special summon a Galaxy Eyes monster from your hand or grave, except this card. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card is in the grave, you can target one Galaxy Eyes Exceeds monster you control, attach the card to it as material. Interestingly enough, the big difference between Tachyon Cloud Dragon and Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon is the fact that Tachyon Cloud Dragon can literally just attach itself to any of your rank 8 Exceeds monsters as its material, and you can actually special summon this card right off the bat if it was added to your hand, except by drawing it. So hypothetically speaking, if you were to So hypothetically speaking, if you were to add this card to your hand off of the effect of, let's say, what's a good example? What would be a good example? Like maybe I'll say Tachyon Spiral of of Destruction. Let's say that. If you were to add if Cloud Dragon gets added off the effect of Tachyon Spiral of Destruction, you basically have yourself Cyber Dragon. The only the only difference between Cloud Dragon between the two Cloud Dragons is that Tachyon Cloud Dragon is level 4, where as opposed to Galaxy Eye Cloud Dragon is level 1. Cloud Tachyon is better because it's perfect for the rank 4s, where as opposed to Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon, it literally does a whole lot of nothing at all. So like if you were to have Cloud Dragon on board and its effects got negated off of the effect of like say a Veiler or an Imperm, that's fine. You don't care. You still have another level 4 monster on board, and you can go into a rank 4 right off the bat, which is pretty busted. Pretty fucking busted. Next up for the level 8s, we got obviously 3 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which is the staple, obviously. Two copies of Nebula Dragon, which is just absolutely insane. It basically becomes a 1-card rank 8 summon, which is amazing. We have 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, which can double the attack of pretty much any number of seas monsters that they may have. If that number monster detached Afterglow Dragon as material to use its effect, it literally doubles. It's just absolutely busted. Then of course we've got 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal. This is basically another Cyber Dragon, but with an effect, that basically gives you Spell Trap Rhoda. It literally is Spell Trap Rhoda, which is amazing. And then to round out the monster lineup, we have 2 copies of Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon, which this card is just absolutely busted. So I'll read off this card's effect. So its effect reads, if you control no monsters or your opponent controls a monster with 2,000 or more attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, special summon a level 8 Light or Dark Dragon from your deck in defense, except this card but negate its effects. You can only use this effect once per turn, and you can't special summon from the action deck except for Dragon Exceeds. So you can literally target you. So you can bring this guy out, then bring out Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, go into a rank 8, and you're off to the races from there. That's pretty much it for the monster lineup. For the spell lineup, there's not a lot of spells. I believe I have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 spells in this deck. So first up, we got obviously Harpy's Feather Duster. Obviously, it's back row removal. Cannot go wrong with that. We got 2 copies of Photon Sanctuary to help, pretty much just to help with the link plays, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the reason why is this card is actually in the deck is because of the link plays. We have a single copy of Galaxy Expedition. I know some people believe that it's better off as 2. I personally believe it's better off as a 1 of, just because of the fact that with the amount of special summoning that this deck can do, you really don't need Expedition all that much. So Expedition just essentially becomes technically a brick, especially if your opponent ended up playing Nibiru on you. Not good. Next up, we got Rank Up Magic Variance Force, obviously for the Galaxy Eyes Tachyon plays. We've got a single copy of Galaxy Trance, which again, much like Galaxy Expedition, this card is only a one of, and the effect is super conditional. You need to have you need to have monsters in your grave that are the same as monsters in your deck, basically. So it's a bit conditional, but it is what it is. Then of course we have a single copy of Galaxy Zero, which is basically premature burial. Which is basically premature burial but better. And it also ensures that the monster in question doesn't get destroyed. Or sorry, where it doesn't get where you basically oh my god, I just lost my train of thought, guys. I apologize. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Galaxy Zero is basically pre-mat but better, because the monster in question must stay in attack position. It can't attack or use its effects. But the way that this card is worded, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you, because the only thing that matters is basically using the reborn effect to bring out any galaxy monster to your board, and then special summon like a card like say Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, go into a rank 8 like say number 62, excuse me, and you're pretty much just off to the races from there, which is just absolutely busted. Now, and then to round up the spells, we got 2 copies of Call by the Grave, obviously because hand traps can be a pain in the fucking ass. And then 2 copies of Tachyon Spiral of Destruction. This card is absolutely nasty. So the effects read as follow: activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. If you control a Galaxy Xyz monster, destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls whose effects are negated. Target one Tachyon card in your grave, except this card, add it to your hand. Target one dragon number monster in your grave, special summon it in defense. You're basically using the second effect to add a Tachyon card from your grave to your hand. And what card do you want to typically add to your hand? You guessed it, Tachyon Cloud Dragon. Literally is the only card that you want to add just off of this card's effect, which is absolutely busted. Now for the traps. There are 6 traps, but there are 2 copies of 3 traps, so there's a total of 6. So first up, we have Tachyon Spiral Galaxy. This card is absolutely insane because this can basically protect. It can basically protect any galaxy monster any dragon galaxy that you may have, and it prevents that monster from being destroyed by battle, and also from being and also it basically gets unaffected by card effects except its own, and it's absolutely insane. But what's even more crazy is that if you have Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon on board, then it essentially becomes a hand trap, much like with the other 2 that I have in this deck. First one up is obviously Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, which is just absolutely insane. So its effect can actually be used during the battle phase, which says that you can detach a material from your Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster, shuffle all monsters your opponent controls into the deck that were normally supposed to summon this turn, and if you control a chaos number, this card's activation and effect cannot be negated. So hypothetically speaking, if you have, let's say let's say you have Chaos number 107, Neo Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy literally becomes, if I can find it, it literally becomes a drowning mirror force, but it becomes a better drowning mirror force, which is insane. Literally, it's insane. And then to round out the main deck, we have two copies of Tachyon Transmigration, which is basically your Solemn Judgment for the whole deck. Not much else to say there. For the extra deck, it's pretty standard. It's pretty standard for a typical Galaxy Eyes deck, but we have a copy of Starleaf's Photon Blast Dragon, which can basically Sidra out your Galaxy Eyes, your pretty much like any Photon monster to your board, which could be Galaxy Eyes of Photon Dragon. It could be Photon Orbital, Photon Vanisher. It could be pretty much just like anything at this point. And it also has two other effects, which read as followed: while this succeeds summon monsters on the field, your opponent cannot target monster you control with 2,000 or more attack with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Once per opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, target one of your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon that is banished or in your grave, and special summon it. So not only do you have a Cyber Dragon, you also have as well built-in protection, and also a DDR for Galaxy Eyes, which is just incredible. Then of course we've got obviously Galaxy Photon Dragon, which is not as powerful as Photon Blast Dragon, but it still has its uses. For one, all of your light monsters will gain 500 attack, which is just, which is good. But that's not why you are using this card. You are using this card because of its second effect, which reads you can detach one material from this card and either add a Photon or Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, or send it to the grave. So if you end up targeting Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, you can send it to the graveyard, activate Galaxy Zero if you have it in your hand, and you basically have yourself a special summon, which is good. But you can also use the card to bring out Galaxy Eyes right off the bat as well. And then if you wanted to, you could use its third effect to target any of your light monsters and make it either level 4 or level 8. That really doesn't matter. You're only using Photon Dragon for its second effect, which is basically it. Then of course we got number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, which is basically a battle phase negation, which is just absolutely busted. Number 62, which is basically the ultimate game changer, especially if you use both Photon Dragon and Afterglow Dragon. Oh my god, this card is nasty. Its attack can go up to over 14,000 attack, not only off of this card's effect, but also off of the effect of Afterglow Dragon, which is just insane. We've got Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, which basically becomes a board pop, if you will. So what this card does is you get to detach a material from this card, target any face-up card that your opponent has, and destroy it, which is good. Which actually is the better effect of the two. And the other effect reads that you can target up to 2 equipped cards equipped to this card, attach them to this card as material. It's fine it's fine, but you're really not gonna be using that effect anyway. So really, in reality, it doesn't make that much of a damn, to be honest. Next up, we've got number 38, which is basically spell negation, and it can attach that spell or that card to itself as material. And if you have, let's say for example, you have, I'll say, photon blast dragon on board, you can literally go from go, you can make your opponent go from attacking your photon blast dragon to this card, which is insane, absolutely insane. Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon, which basically is a snatch steal, but you're not really using it for that. You're mainly using it to rank up, so to speak, into full armor photon, and then going into Cypher X, I'll show him off in a little bit. Number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, basically is your Solemn Judgment. Is basically another copy of like Solemn Judgment, if you will, which is really good. Then of course, Chaos number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Obviously, it is royal rare due to the little special event that they did. This card is actually pretty good. The only downside is that the only downside is that it gains attack equal to the combined levels and ranks of its attached materials. So literally, you would need to have a spell card or some form of like other monster card or whatever to attach to be able to attach to this card as material to give to give it that extra power boost that it needs. So is it good? Yes, but it can be a bit of a dud, if you will, in my opinion. Next up, we've got Divine Golden Shadow Dragon Dracluxion. This card is busted good. This card is absolutely busted. So I will read off this guy's effects. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can add one Galaxy or Tachyon card from your deck to your hand. And again, Cloud Dragon is obviously the way to go. You can detach two materials from this card. Special summon from your extra deck a rank 8 dragon Xyz monster with 3,000 attack. Using this card you control as material, which is treated as an Xyz summon. Then you can attach one Galaxy monster from your extra deck to it. You can only use each effect once per turn. Is it good? Yes, but it can be a bit conditional. So your best option is to summon out number 38 and then attach number 90 as the material. That's like the big the big play that you would choose to end up making. Chaos, yeah, can't speak. Chaos number 107 obviously is a built-in negation, absolutely busted. Cypher Blade Dragon, because it can pop pretty much anything that they may have at your disposal. Then of course Galaxy Eye Cypher X Dragon, which can not only protect all of your light monsters from being targeted by card effects, but it can also help you bring back your Cypher Dragon, which can then help you go into your full armor photon and then into your Cypher Blade Dragon, which even that is just absolutely insane. And then to round out the entire deck itself, we have a single copy of Galaxy Eye Soul Flare Dragon, which even this card is just insane. It literally is fodder. It's used with this particular reason. Photon Sanctuary, you play this card, you get out 2 tokens, and right off the bat, you've got Soul Flare Dragon on board, which can help search, which can help bring out any Photon or Galaxy card from your monster from your grave to your hand, and you can detach Galaxy not detach. Discard Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon, and basically just pop any monster that your opponent has that was special summon. Just pop it. That's basically all you get to do. And then Galaxy Satellite Dragon. This card is absolutely busted, especially in Duel Links. In Duel Links, this card is a menace. So I'll read off this guy's effect. During the battle phase, as a quick effect, you can banish the card from your field or grave. Then target one number exceeds monster control whose original attribute or type are light and or dragon until the end of the battle phase. Its attack becomes equal to the value of the number in its name times 100. Also, any battle damage your opponent takes is halved. During your opponent's end phase, you can take a card from your deck and place it on top of your deck. So this card can basically ensure that your battle phase is rock solid. Literally, it ensures that you're able to basically threaten lethal, which is insane. So my thoughts on this deck: it's absolutely busted. I'm honestly kind of shocked that I've won quite a few decks, not a few decks, won a few matches on Master Duel with the deck. Not much else to say about that, but with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more Master Duel deck profiles in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.